I'm so glad that, he was able to raise that fist and tell us to fight. Of course, I said, I don't know if I said that to you, but I put it on Twitter. How long before they say that was inciting to riot? I got a couple of clips I'll play later where they actually complained. Like, I don't know if that's the right message. The guy just got his fucking head almost blown off.
Yeah. Yeah.
And got, it was a headshot. It hit him in the ear, but it was a headshot. And you're going to complain to him that he gave you the wrong message? Like, are you kidding me?
I want to just read a part of his statement from 8:42 tonight on Truth Social. He said, "Nothing is known at this time about the shooter, who is now dead. I was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of my right ear. I knew immediately that something was wrong and that I heard a whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through the skin. Much bleeding took place, so I realized then what was happening." He closes with "God bless America," and we saw him raise his hand in the air defiantly, blood on his face as he left the stage.
He is recovering from these injuries now. This was a traumatic event, no doubt, for him. But I did notice there was no call for lowering the temperature, condemning all political violence, and really trying to signal to his supporters as well not to retaliate or to have any kind of escalation here. I just am looking at these statements.
There's a belief in his inner circle that he's under siege after being attacked at his rally.
I do want to say there was one thing that when I watched the tape, I found odd because of all of the heated rhetoric. And that is that after he was hit, former President Trump got up and said, "Fight, fight, fight." I think what we're hearing from people is that's not the message that we want to be sending right now. We want to tamp it down.
I read an article once actually, I didn't read it. Krauthammer on Fox News was talking about how stupid the New York Times was because they said, why are there so many people in jail during the safest time of our city? Not realizing, of course, the reason why it's the safest time in the city
because they're in jail.
Exactly, it's so stupid, dude. Yeah. Let me show you some of the news articles that. Speaking of the New York Times, that's what made me think about it. Let me show you some of the news articles of how they reported this. This is gonna. I'm sure you saw some of them, right?
Yeah, and I know it's going to infuriate me already, but yeah.
Okay. Can you let me know when you can see this? MSNBC. Yeah. Trump rushed off stage at Pennsylvania rally by Secret Service after loud popping noises heard.
I would almost think that's a parody.
That's what I thought. I said that's not real.
Yeah. Can you believe? Because when they put stuff like this out, they're targeting the older liberal generation. That may not have access to go deep and find out what the real truth is. They read the headline, they get gaslighted right at the moment, and that's what they believe. Because that's, even growing up as a young kid, you'd watch the news and you thought the news was, that was it. That was the holy grail.
Yeah. Well, you didn't even know that Peter Jennings, you didn't know if he was liberal or conservative. Right. They just reported the news. Let me get you another one. Hold on. New York Times. Trump hurt, but safe after our shooting.
Oh my God!
After a shooting, it's nothing about Trump is the victim of the shooting and almost got his head blown off. It's
unbelievable the road that they lead people down. It's like, well, it's kind of the truth, but I think we're kind of telling like when you were a kid, like did you cut out of school today? Well, I only cut the first class and the last. I
went in late,
but I went into homeroom to check it. Like. You see what I'm saying? Like it's, and that's how they absolve themselves from saying we're fake news.
I know. Hold on, I'm gonna get another one for you. Trump injured. Trump injured in rally shooting.
It's laughable. It's freaking laughable.
You gotta laugh.
It's almost like the Babylon Bee.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, this is satire. This has to be sad. There's a few more that I'll try to find and put up in post. I don't have them ready to go here.
You'd think you'd be watching like SNL or something. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
I know.
It's really. I know.
So I think that's about I would say 10 years ago. I think O'Reilly was talking to maybe it was a little bit more than that. He was talking to Glenn Beck, and they were talking about bias in the media towards favoring Obama. And O'Reilly said, it's not just bias anymore, it's corruption. And I remember hearing that saying, I don't know if it's corrupt. Dude, they're beyond corrupt now.
I know.
They are so unbelievably corrupt.
Yeah, but have you ever seen, like, and I've seen it a couple of times, and I wish we had it on here, but there's like a thing on YouTube, and they'll show like all these different news outlets, and they'll start with the first one, and they could be from peppered all over the country, but they have the same exact lines, the same exact talking points, and it's like to the verbatim.
There's so much speculation out there, and there is zero evidence that Hunter Biden or Joe Biden did anything wrong here.
We should note, again, and you and I have said this in the air many times, there is no evidence that Joe Biden was, involved in any wrongdoing.
Of course, I want to note that there is no evidence that Joe Biden or Hunter Biden has done anything wrong.
I just want to reiterate.
And let's be clear for the viewers.
There is no evidence Biden did anything wrong.
I'll note again, because it's important.
There is I repeat, no.
There is no evidence that either Biden did anything illegal.
There's been no evidence.
There was no evidence.
There's no evidence. There is no evidence.
There is not an iota of evidence.
No evidence Biden did anything wrong.
There's really
no evidence
That Joe Biden
Did anything wrong?
There's no
evidence whatsoever that Joe
Biden did
anything
wrong.
Got that?
Joe Biden did nothing wrong.
It's crazy.
They get it from the Democrats. I used to, Rush Limbaugh, just about a year before he died, he said that he had it all wrong. He said, I originally thought that the Democrats led the way and the media would pick up the pieces and follow them and provide cover. But the Democrats were leading and the media backed them up. He said, now I realize it's the opposite. The media is dictating what should happen and the Democrats get in line. And I think that's probably what's torn this country apart more than anything, the corrupt media, because they are corrupt and they're doing tremendous harm.